Academy Awards criticism. Accusations of commercialism. Due to the positive exposure and prestige of the Academy Awards, studios spend millions of dollars and hire publicists specifically to promote their films during what is typically called the Oscar season. This has generated accusations of the Academy Awards being influenced more by marketing than quality. William Friedkin, an Academy Award-winning film director and former producer of the ceremony, expressed this sentiment at a conference in New York in 2009, describing it as the greatest promotion scheme that any industry ever devised for itself. Tim Dirks, editor of AMC's film site, .org, has written of the Academy Awards. Unfortunately, the critical worth, artistic vision, cultural influence and innovative qualities of many films are not given the same voting weight. Especially since the 1980s, money-making formula made blockbusters with glossy production values have often been crowd-pleasing titans, and Best Picture winners, but they haven't necessarily been great films with depth or critical acclaim by any measure. Accusations of bias. Typical criticism of the Academy Awards for Best Picture is that among the winners and nominees there is an overrepresentation of romantic historical epics, biographical dramas, romantic dramedies, and family melodramas, most of which are released in the U.S. the last 3 months of the calendar year. The Oscars have been infamously known for selecting specific genres of movies to be awarded. This has led to the coining of the term Oscar bait, describing such movies. This has led at times to more specific criticisms that the Academy is disconnected from the audience, for example, by favoring Oscar bait over audience favorites, or favoring historical melodramas over critically acclaimed movies that depict current life issues. Allegations of a lack of diversity. The Academy Awards have long received criticism over its lack of diversity among the nominees. This criticism is based on the statistics from every Academy Award since 1929, which shows us that only 6.4% of Academy Award nominees have been non-white, and since 1991, 11.2% of nominees have been non-white, with the rate of winners being even more polarizing. The 88th awards ceremony became the target of a boycott, popularized on social media by the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite, based on critics' perception that its all-white acting nominee list reflected bias. In response, the Academy initiated historic changes in membership by the year 2020. Symbolism or sentimentalization. Acting prizes in certain years have been criticized for not recognizing superior performances so much as being awarded for personal popularity or presented as a career honor to recognize a distinguished nominee's entire body of work. Refusing the award. Some winners critical of the Academy Awards have boycotted the ceremonies and refused to accept their Oscars. The first to do so was screenwriter Dudley Nichols, best writing in 1935 for The Informer. Nichols boycotted the 8th Academy Awards ceremony because of conflicts between the Academy and the Writers Guild. Nichols eventually accepted the 1935 award 3 years later, at the 1938 ceremony. Nichols was nominated for 3 further Academy Awards during his career. George C. Scott became the second person to refuse his award, Best Actor in 1970 for Patton, at the 43rd Academy Awards ceremony. Scott described it as a meat parade, saying, "I don't want any part of it." The third person to refuse the award was Marlon Brando, who refused his award, Best Actor for 1972's The Godfather, citing the film industry's discrimination and mistreatment of Native Americans. At the 45th Academy Awards ceremony, Brando sent actress and civil rights activist Sacheen Littlefeather to read a 15-page speech detailing his criticisms. Incidents. At the 89th Academy Awards ceremony, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway mistakenly announced La La Land as the recipient of the Best Picture award, instead of Moonlight, the actual winner. Beatty had been given the wrong envelope and, after hesitating during the announcement, handed the envelope to Dunaway, which listed Emma Stone as Best Actress for La La Land and led to the confusion. The proper winner was announced after the acceptance speeches by La La Land producers Fred Berger, Jordan Horowitz, and Mark Platt. The following year, Beatty and Dunaway were invited back as presenters of the Best Picture award, which they accomplished without error.